Hello, I am coming to you live with another filter for today. I'm not going to change filters. I'm just going to stick with one filter per video. All right. So I'm going to do this once a week. I thought it'd be really fun. I was thinking of doing it on Fridays, but then I forgot to do it last Friday. So I'm doing it on Monday today. But I thought it would be fun to do it and call it Friday filters or fun with filters on Friday because Fridays and filters, it's a literal, right? And so I love literal things. So, anyways, I am here. It is Thanksgiving week, and I thought I'd check in because this is a time of year where two things happen, two things coincide. One is we wrap up, or this is me, I wrap up my year. I look back and see what did I commit that I would do? Where am I? Did I get done what I said or promised myself I would get done? And if I haven't, what how do I get it done? Or is it even that important anymore? Because, just because we set a goal in January doesn't mean that we have to keep it if things change in our lives that don't align. And one thing that is very different is that remember January, we were in the midst of a pandemic still. And so vaccines were just coming out. Nobody really could get them except, certain, I think, older people at the time. I'm not even sure exactly when they started being more mainstream. I think it was March or April. How quickly we forget. So everything was still pretty much locked down, at least in the US. And so things opened up and things that I didn't even expect that would happen in this year happened. So, for instance, going to Greece, I never in a million years even thought Greece was a possibility. It was on my vision board, but I didn't think it would happen in 2021. So that was really exciting for me. So I'm curious what you do this time of year, other than, of course, get ready for the holidays. So here in the US, we have Thanksgiving, and then on top of that, I follow Christmas. So that's my holiday. And so that's what I speak to is Christmas. And so it's so funny because this year, because Christmas is always on the 25th of December, and Thanksgiving changes depending. It's the last Thursday of November. And this year it's exactly 1 month ahead. And so they're kind of close together. And then usually what my tradition has always been is to decorate for Christmas, Thanksgiving. Partly, I think, because in our society, we get off on Thanksgiving, and a lot of companies also give off on the Friday after Thanksgiving. Not all, but many. And so you have that extra day to kind of have time to prepare. And preparing for Christmas is a big deal. Putting up a tree takes time. And that's one case where I miss having kids that are close by that can come and help me decorate because it's all on me. My husband is not a decorator. So I'm curious, like, what besides getting ready for the holidays do you do this time of year? Do you follow a plan? Do you have a schedule? Do you look at what you've accomplished? Is there any process that you follow? And then do you prepare for the next year? Because I start to think about, I'm not going to wait until some people do the New Year's resolutions and they don't start thinking about that till like between Christmas and New Year's. But I start thinking about my plans and what I want to do before that time. And so I spend time in December doing that. And so, yeah, so I thought I'd share what I'm doing this December that I didn't plan on doing. I'm also going to do a podcast at the end of the year on kind of like what I learned this year, just kind of a year in review. But I haven't reviewed the year yet. I'll wait till the end to do that. But in terms of, thinking back, what I plan to do in January, that it's totally different now. Two things are coming up I'm super excited about in December. One is that I'm going on a trip. Well, they're kind of coinciding together. I'm going on another trip. I'm going to Utah, of all places. I'm going to spend a week, well, actually 9 days, 8 or 9 days in Sundance. Robert Redford lives there. Maybe I'll see him. So I'm going to Utah, and I am going to be doing 2 trainings there. One just is virtual, so I just happen to be in Utah when I'm doing it, but the other one is in person. So I'm very excited about doing this training because it's stuff that will help me as a coach better help my students. And so anything that I can do to learn more that can help them at a deeper level, I get really excited about. So I didn't have any plans in January to do this. And so this is stuff that's come up that when it came up, I'm like, I want to do this. I will say I put things into motion to make this happen too. So, it works both ways. Things became available, but I also was pushing my into the direction of wanting this. And it's funny how sometimes when you do that, these things just they fall into your lap and they become available. So I'll be doing training with Jonathan Fields on Sparketypes, going deeper and getting certified as a Sparketype advisor. And I'm going to be working with Alex Paulos, who is a personality. He basically created a personality model, which I teach my students. They all get typed in the Second Half Spark School. So I'm actually going to, and I've been working with Alex for over a year now. I got typed. I found out about him from my coach, and then I got typed, and it was such a life-changing experience. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to share this with as many people as possible. So I've been working with him virtually for over a year. And so I asked him if I could come get trained. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm going to be spending a few days with Alex in Utah. So I'm very, very excited about that. So, and then what else is happening is, and I did this last year with my team, but it's kind of an annual ritual now, is we sit down and we plan for the year. What are we going to do for 2022? When are we going to open the Second Half Spark School? When are we going to do the different things that we want to do for our small little company? And so I'm really excited. So just a couple things that are coming up early. There's a January 20th training I'm going to do. So that's going to be available to anybody. It's going to be different than what I've done. It's going to be a 3-part live training. And so I'm very excited. It's going to be a different format than I've done. And it's going to be specifically for empty nesters. So if you're an empty nester and you want to start the year off with some really thought-provoking and really life-shifting is what I like to call the training that I do. Life-shifting training, that will start on January 20th. So follow me to just see. We don't have anything up yet to sign up for it, but we will be doing that soon. And then one of the other things I'm going to be doing, and then the Second Half Spark School is going to reopen on January 31st. So I'm very excited. Last day of January. It's about the same time frame I did it last year. And then I am planning, although we don't have all the details yet, I'm going to do my first, given that no more pandemics, I'm going to be doing my first retreat. I am so excited. I went on this amazing yoga retreat to Greece. And so I'm going to do one, not yoga. So, cause I'm not a yoga instructor, but it's going to be like an adventure focused retreat. And so I'm excited about it, and it's just up here right now, but I need to get it on paper, and that's going to be sometime next year. So look for that coming. And that's going to be in the US though. It's not going to be in Greece or anywhere exotic. Maybe I'll migrate to that at some point. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just reviewing, I use my workbooks. I have these Spark, I give these to my students. It's my own workbook that I have customized based on, just me figuring out what works, what doesn't work for me. So I created first of it was worksheets that I did, and then I put it in a binder and got it created. And so I keep track of everything that I do. I'm very, people might say I'm organized, but I just feel, you got to put it down. Otherwise you're just scattered and you make less progress. And one thing that I found by doing this is I wouldn't say that, I just feel more focused. I feel like I'm focused, and it gives me more energy as well, which is crazy. So just writing it down, even though if I mean, I'm not perfect every day, the things I write down, oftentimes, I'll move them to the next day. It's not like it's perfect, but it's really, really nice because you have a record of everything. And then you can go back and look at what you did over the past week, what you did over the past month, what you did over the past quarter, and you can evaluate it. And then you can like say, okay, this is what I'm going to do differently, or this is what I'm going to expand on. And this is what made me happier. This is what made me more lit up about life and what I was working on. What made me feel like not as excited? What made me feel more excited? And you start to see these patterns, and then you just keep track of it. And then you plan going forward based on those things that make you happier. And so that's why it's called the Spark system, because it sparks you. So yeah, so I have like, I've been working from this kind of format for about 2 years now, and it's really made a huge difference. And so I will go back at the end of in December and look at all of my Spark System workbooks from the past year, and they're in 90-day buckets. So I have 4 from 2021. Yeah, and I'll use that, and then that will inform me of what I'm going to do going forward. And so it's a great process. I love it. And so I just thought it would be good to get on here and just say, like, what are you doing? What are you doing to ensure that you finish out the year good and that you have the best 2022 possible? And it comes from just kind of really recognizing what it is that you've worked on that makes you happier, and do more of that in the future. Just do more of that in the future. So it always gives me a thrill and excitement about what's coming. I work to be very present in what I'm doing, because every day I wake up excited about what I'm doing. I do tend to find myself, because I love so much what I'm doing, I look forward a lot. So I'm really excited about 2022. So start working on it, but I have to also finish up this year. So those 2 things are what I have going on, and getting ready for Christmas. So what have you got going on? Share below and let me know what you got going on this December, and to close out November, of course. All right. Bye.